It is that time of year again. It got a little bit colder and so my body turned into a sponge and it absorbed all the bacteria around the house. So if I sound a little bit weird, that's because I got sick again. But YouTube is a war front, so we had to release a video anyway. You see, originally I wanted to make a totally different video. In fact, I didn't think I would release a video at all. However, as you just heard, I got sick. And the video that I was already working on would destroy me should I record it right now. But then I realized that people like voices. Not my voice, I am European and so I am bound by the curse of awkward accent. However, last time people enjoyed when we had a look at the new voice of Ash. But Ash wasn't the only one who got her voice updated. A couple of months before that, we also got Lee Sin, but we didn't have the time to have a look at him. So now, because I really do need some time off, the time has come and we can break down the new voice of Lee Sin. As always, all hail SkinSpotlights, we wouldn't be able to do this without them. And now, let's get on it.
Worry not. I'll see this through.
I like that they kept his old voice lines from the old voice.
Act free of doubt. Your weakness is revealed.
However, straight from the beginning, one thing that I don't like about the new Lee Sin is that he is far too aggressive with his new voice. Because the old one, the old Lee Sin, he was always very calm, very collected, and he always knew what he was doing, and he was never really a dick about what he was doing. But here...
Beware the dragon spirit. A risk I shall take.
He is very aggressive. Even in the newest story that Lee Sin got, which by the way was actually converted into comic later on, in that story he was protecting a temple from a band of raiders, and he was always very calm, very collected, he knew what he was doing. And when he had to punch someone really hard or kick them through the wall, he never said anything else to say with it. However, here, with the new voice, he always has something to say.
Your spirit trembles.
And I'm not sure
Fear clouds your mind.
if that is really in the spirit of Lee Sin.
You dare doubt my resolve?
You see, this was the old Lee Sin. No, this was the young Lee Sin. The Lee Sin before he screwed up by not being able to wield the dragon's flames, and when he just paralyzed his master, and when he was kicked out. This was him. He was very rash? Is that the word? He always acted before he thought. And it was after he met Udyr and after the Noxians invaded that he became a calm monk. Which is what he should be right now, but the voice doesn't really reflect it. At least, in my opinion.
You are but a gilded reflection of what dragons truly are.
Alright, so this is a quote specifically against Aurelian, who is a space dragon, but we never really learned what dragons are supposed to be to Ionians, because, you know, dragons have many forms. They are in Ishtal, or around Ishtal, they are the elemental dragons. In Ionia, we have the pictures of these giant dragon eggs, so we know that dragons are kind of worshipped as, like, you know, beautiful beings, kind of like, you know, the Chinese culture does the same, but I don't know why Aurelian should be a lesser dragon than all the other dragons.
Before we were one spirit, what have we become?
Okay, that's a nice little reference to the fact how Ionians split into the two camps, one that fought against Noxians and the other one who was like, you know, let them do whatever they want, let's just let them be here. So this is a nice reference to the war when Noxians invaded.
You won a great victory, Irelia. I look forward to besting you in combat.
See, I know that this is a quote against Irelia in the game on Summoner's Rift, so he never would have said this in the story. But it's kind of weird how Lee Sin is looking forward to besting Irelia, because Irelia did what Lee Sin did in the temple of Hirana Monastery, I believe. See, Lee Sin just ran there with Udyr and he evoked the flames of the dragon and every Noxian died. Irelia did something very similar, so I would almost say that maybe Lee Sin should be looking up to her. Or she should be looking up to him. It really depends who respects who more.
Draw your blade, Master Yi. I have waited long to face you.
Again, what do you mean I have waited long to face you? Okay, so with the quote with Irelia, at least he didn't mention anything like, oh, I've been waiting for long to fight you, Irelia. You know, with that quote, it's kind of like, oh, I'm in Summoner's Rift and I'm fighting Irelia, let me have a quote against her. Here, he's almost suggesting that for a long time, even before Summoner's Rift and anything like that, not that Summoner's Rift would be real, but even before anything happened, it almost seems like even in his real lore, he waited long to fight Master Yi. Which is false. The Wuju village was hidden from most people, and I wouldn't be surprised if even the monks didn't know about it. So not only did you probably not wait long to fight Master Yi, it's possible that you didn't even know he existed.
I am the fire of Shojin. Face me with all your strength.
Wait, was it Shojin and not Hirana? I got my temples confused.
Shivana, your spirit seems divided and familiar.
Spirit seems divided. I think that this is a reference to the fact that she is a dragon, but at the same time she's kind of trying to hide in Demacia. Again, ever since the Demacian update, no mentions of Shivana whatsoever, so we don't actually know what Shivana is doing in Demacia while the entire civil war is happening. But the reason why her spirit is familiar is of course because she's a dragon. And, you know, Lee Sin is controlling the flames of the dragon spirit.
Wukong, someone of your skill ought to listen to his master.
Just in case you don't know, of course the master of Wukong is Master Yi, whom Lee Sin is not supposed to know about.
Xin Zhao, or would you rather fight under your other name?
Ooh, Viscero! That's his other name, because of course, if you don't remember, Xin Zhao is Ionian, who was captured by Noxians to fight in their arena. There, they gave him the gladiator name Viscero, and then, when the war between Noxus and Demacia kind of erupted, they used their gladiators as disposable soldiers. So they just took Xin Zhao, threw him into Demacia to just die and maybe win a battle or two. But Demacians, because they are the good guys under certain conditions, they accepted these Noxians that weren't really Noxians into, you know, the Demacian armies. Or they let them run away. But Xin Zhao decided to join Demacia instead. But again, the other name that Lee Sin is mentioning here is Viscero.
Blindness is no impairment against a smelly enemy.
I'm glad they kept this one. Out of all the quotes, I am glad they kept this one.
Our foes are not much to look at. Enough blind jokes. Stop asking for more.
I wonder if Red gave him the specific order of these jokes, so that he says one, he says the other, and then when you joke the third time, that's when he gets mad. That would be really cool. I don't know if this is how it works.
Expand too far, and you lose your center.
Okay, that's a cool pun, because, you know, Aurelian is expanding the universe. That's a cool pun, I'll give you that.
We shared the same home, but not the same beliefs.
That's awkward. It should be only like specific Ionians, because again, Ionia is divided into two camps. Some people believe that they should be fighting for their land. Other people believe that they should just stay back and let the land protect itself. What if Lee Sin is fighting someone like Irelia? Okay, I guess when he's fighting Irelia, who has the same beliefs, he has specific votes against her? Maybe that's how Riot figured that out. If someone is on the same side as Lee Sin, they have a unique quote, because otherwise, this one wouldn't make sense.
The land will remember you, Irelia. Cain, neither path would have given you what you truly desired.
Oh! See, the question is, what does Cain truly desire? Because he doesn't care about Ionia, because he's a Noxian that was kind of thrown in there. I would say that he would care about Zed, because Zed is the person who kind of gave him a chance to live. If Zed wasn't there... Okay, I should probably just do a TLDR of the entire story. Cain was a child during the Noxian invasion. Now, because Borem Darkwill at the time was the mad leader, when Noxians invaded Ionia, Borem Darkwill was like, you know what we can use as a weapon in this war? Children. And so he threw a bunch of Noxian children with weapons on the Ionian shores. There, when Ionians fought back, they didn't really know if they should be killing children. And so, these small Noxian weapons had the advantage of surprise. Kain was one of these killer children. So with that said, I don't think he cares about Ionia, but he survived only because Zed found him on the shores of Ionia. And he was like, you know what, I like this kid, let me get him into my own cult. So going back to this quote, I am not sure what Lee Sin talks about. If you guys know, feel free to let me know in the comments.
Do not worry, Wu Ju lives on in another.
Oh, does he mean Wukong? If he does, that's a super cool quote. Otherwise, this would be totally random.
Send me more Noxians. I have yet to unleash all my power.
See, but when Lee Sin unleashes all his power, usually a temple burns out, his eyes evaporate, friendly people get paralyzed. I'm not sure he should be doing this.
The monks taught me well, but I determined my own fate.
The monks did teach you well. You didn't listen to them and you actually paralyzed one of them. I don't know why I see this quote as ironic.
The dragon must be unleashed, or it will consume me from within.
Really? But the entire time when the monks trained you, you were totally fine. You didn't have any urges to unleash giant flames that would destroy entire monasteries. You had no inner hesitation whatsoever. I strongly doubt that what you just said is actually true.
I did not blind myself. I called upon the dragon and suffered its wrath.
So you blinded yourself.
The marks on my body are not warnings. They are reminders of the burden I bear.
See, what markings is he talking about? Because he has monk tattoos. Those are not, as far as we know, I don't think those are burn marks. But yes, by the way, not only did he burn his own eyes when he unleashed the flames of dragon for the first time, but you may notice that one of the marks is that he is mostly bald. The only strap of hair that he has on his head, just like I do, that's the only thing that got left after he got engulfed in flames.
Never again will arrogance lead me astray.
Alright, see, okay, finally, he's kind of talking about his past, because arrogance, in this case, that's when he thought that, oh, I can totally use the dragon's flame, let me use it right now. And my master is paralyzed. It's cool that he has some quotes that actually talk about this.
My training left more scars than any battle.
Again, this is... See, the following quote also talks about this, because the scars, he's not talking about physical scars, how, like, you know, when he fought against others when he was training, he would get beaten or something. He's talking about the fact that when he actually unleashed the dragon, he got paralyzed and the master got paralyzed and he got just shamed and just thrown out of the temple. So he's talking about emotional scars, which is really cool.
I must stay disciplined.
Okay, another quote when he is kinda doubting himself. See, finally, the quotes at the beginning, those were the quotes where he was fighting someone, those were attack moves. When he's just moving, he is kinda more collected and thoughtful, so maybe that's why he was angry at the beginning, because he was actually fighting people. But here, these quotes actually do make sense.
Stand up! My training is not yet finished.
Okay, see, now he's kinda on the angry side again. I don't think he's supposed to be that. He's supposed to be very calm and very, not entirely peaceful. Because, yes, when Noxians invaded, he kinda lost himself in anger. But I never imagined Lee Sin as this very shouting, kinda angry fighter. Even in the latest story when he was protecting the temple, he was very quiet. And he never taunted anyone. And I think that's what's the issue here. I don't think Lee Sin should be taunting other people.
Begone! Behold! Hika!
And that's the new voice. As I said, I do like how they expanded on it, and he has quotes against other events in Ionia. However, I feel like the voice doesn't fit him, or rather the delivery of his voice lines. It doesn't really fit Lee Sin. Yes, he is an incredibly powerful fighter who went through a lot, that's why he has emotional scars, but he never really was in a place where he would taunt the enemy. I always thought that because he lost his sight, Lee Sin's character would kinda go that way. He can't see anything, therefore he wouldn't really say much because he needs to hear everything perfectly. That's why shouting awful things at your enemies wouldn't be the right choice, because while you're shouting, you can't hear them. The last thing I want to mention is his blindfold. Two things to say about that. First of all, the monk sign disappeared from his blindfold. And the second thing is, he is blind. He needs to hear his enemies. Why is he covering his ears? Hey, did you know that we have social media and Twitch where we talk about other League facts and stories? And did you know that we have neat mugs and shirts too? The links to all of that will be below. And as always, thank you, come again.